Breaking news, we are gearing up for round two. More heavy rain hitting Southern California, and that means concerns about mudslides. And debris flows is growing.
And it's wet and dreary all across the Southland, from the mountains to the ocean. It's raining, and it is far from over. In fact, we are just getting started.
And we're still a couple more days of dangerous weather ahead. We have a team of reporters covering the storm. But
let's begin with CBS 2's Garth Kemp, who's tracking the rain's path. Garth.
Good afternoon, everybody. Well, today's rain out there, not as strong as what we thought it would be yesterday, but that's just a precursor of what's yet to come tomorrow. But we do have flash flood watches. Still anywhere between 3/4 of an inch to 1.25 inches. A lot of thunderstorm activity happening outshore. So the burn areas, the Woolsey fire area, doing a little bit better right now. But you can see the flash flood watches permeating a whole entire area, including downtown LA, out to the coast as well. We do have winter storm warnings that continue through tomorrow morning. Then we'll see snow levels start to go up after that. We probably will lose that, but still, nonetheless, 6 to 12 inches of snow happening at above 5,500 to 6,500 feet. Above that, 1 to 2 feet of snow for some of the local resorts. All right, so let's get to it. Here's Doppler radar. All our radar beams are up and running right now. You can see up by the fire area a little bit better, but let me take you where some of the heaviest rain for our friends out in the IE are right now. Heavy rain falling just up by Crestline there. You can see just below the snow levels there as well. So we're getting heavy rain up through there just as you get over towards the Cajon Pass as well. Down to the south, been picking it up fairly well. This is that fetch coming in out of the south-southwest. Laguna, good afternoon to you. Irvine, you guys are picking up some moderate rain as we speak. Then we'll roll you up just north towards Downey, Inglewood, out towards East LA, out towards Alhambra, San Gabriel. Pretty good rain falling on the 10 out there. Those roads probably flooding as we speak right now. Be careful on the drive, either to work or on your way home. Culver City, mid-city area picking up rain as well, all the way out towards Santa Monica. If you're making your way out towards the airport, out towards Santa Monica right now, you'll definitely run into some urban flood advisories. That would just be street flooding. Of course, Calabasas continues to pick the rain up as well. So that's what it looks like on the satellite. All the information, including your 7-day, coming up in just about 16 minutes from now. Back to you guys.
All right, and right now we do have mandatory evacuations in effect for the Woolsey fire burn areas. We're talking Malibu Lake, Corral Canyon, Ramirez Canyon Road, Paradise Cove, Trancas Canyon, and Latigo Canyon.
And CBS 2's Greg Mills is live in Malibu, where some people are heeding the evacuation orders and some are leaving, huh, Greg?
You're right, Pat. Some are leaving, some are staying. We're on PCH, and rain really coming down right now, much more than it did, say, about an hour ago. We've had heavy rain off and on since about 2 o'clock here in Malibu. This is PCH. As you can see, traffic moving really well. The road is wet, but not too bad. If you look over there in the hills, you see all the green vegetation. It's just beyond there where the evacuation orders are because they are so vulnerable to mudslides.
We're cautious. I mean, we're not going to risk our lives. We'll go.
But for now, Lisa and her husband John are staying put. This has been home for 31 years at the bottom of Latigo Canyon.
We got a text.
Actually, 2 of them from the Sheriff's Department and the city of Malibu, telling them they are under mandatory evacuation orders.
Where am I going to go? This is my home. I have 4 dogs. There's not a hotel that'll take me. Red Cross doesn't take dogs unless they're seeing eye dogs.
The Woolsey fire burned 4 cars and much of their property.
Broke my leg trying to put out hot spots.
Now the concern is mudslides because of that fire, and they know the forecast.
Really torrential tonight, yeah. Well, what are you going to do?
Well, I think we're pretty safe. Our hillside, as you can see, is greened up, and we've got a lot of oaks.
On the ocean side of PCH, Paradise Cove is under evacuation orders as well. Beaver Valenzuela has lived here 41 years, and he's not going.
I don't know what the big problem is here. They're making it into a Godzilla movie.
The forecast for heavy storms doesn't bother him. He's seen it all before.
There's been major storms. 82, the pier went down. That was huge. That was massive. We were fine.
Everything on the other side of PCH funnels down toward Paradise Cove. Heavy rain, mudslides could head this way.
I'm not going anywhere. I want to keep my eyes on what's going on. If I have to evacuate, I'll evacuate.
Looking for a silver lining, the surfing was great at Zuma Beach this morning.
There's just a lot of energy out there. I mean, the water's really gross, but with all the energy, there's plenty of waves, so, and not that many people with all the roads being closed.
The water is really gross, really muddy, but also very, very choppy, as you see in the Pacific right now, as you look over at Malibu Cove, Malibu Colony Cove Road. Also, you see the rain on the roof there. You did as we were looking at that street. But all in all, things not that bad right now, so far, at least. Reporting live from Malibu, Greg Mills, CBS 2 News. Pat,
all right,
back to
Greg.
you.
Thanks very much. We want to remind everybody there are evacuation centers. They are now open in the burn areas. Santa Monica High School, right inside the South Gym, that's on Pico in Santa Monica. You could also go to an evacuation center in Agoura Hills, Calabasas Community Center. That is on Malibu Hills Road in Agoura.
Well, people who evacuated for the Woolsey fire in these areas are being told to get out once again. Homes in Bell Canyon, Oak Park, and the south coast of the county near Malibu are being evacuated. CBS 2's Christy Fajardo is live in Bell Canyon.
It's one of the burn areas that's being closely watched tonight. Christy.
Yeah, Jeff and Pat, we've been getting a very moderate but steady rain for the last hour or so, and the hope is that the water will continue to do what it's been doing up to now, and that is draining into this creek bed. But the hillside behind it underscores the danger. You'll notice it is very steep. It is also very dark. That's because it is now saturated, soaking wet from the rains we've been getting. And if you walk with me, I want to show you. We can't go into Bell Canyon because it is a private community, but if we push in past that guard gate, you'll notice there are houses sitting on top of hillsides that are just as soaked. Truckloads of sandbags are going into the gated community of Bell Canyon. The sign at the guard gate warns the entire neighborhood is under a mandatory evacuation order.
I just grabbed him from school and going to get home and kind of figure out what's going on up here in the canyon.
That's why Jana Vincent is sending photos of the hill that worries her most to her brother, an engineer specializing in water.
I was just getting his, not going through this before, what really all this means.
I've been watching a little bit. I just heard they were supposed to get a lot of rain and stuff.
And others all along the Woolsey burn area in Ventura County are also on guard. In Oak Park, stacks of sandbags line some driveways. And what was once a 3-foot wide creek bed is now a lake of mud. So deep, you can't make out where the tree trunks begin. And in canyon after canyon, the last bout of rain has already cut watermarks into exposed hillsides, and homes that survived the Woolsey fire are endangered once again.
We were evacuated, for 6 days with the fires, and our home almost burned down. The home next to us burned down. So it's just been quite a trying time.
And these lighter spots here on the hillside is where the earth has already started to shift, and we have seen some small rock slides. And of course, it's only going to get worse as the rain continues. And we have seen some homeowners who talked to some, I should say, who say they plan to stay put, but others are taking the threat very seriously. Some have been leaving with their horses in trailers. Live in Bell Canyon, Christy Fajardo, CBS 2 News.
Yeah, better than waiting until you have to leave on horseback. Christy, thank you. All right, let's check on the road conditions right now.
CBS 2's Crystal Cruz continues our live team coverage. Crystal, where are you?
Hi, Pat and Jeff. Yeah, we are on the 405, just passing the 118 in Mission Granada Hills. It is really starting to rain out here, and surprisingly, we're moving at a nice clip, about 45 miles per hour. That's surprising for two reasons. A, it's raining, and B, it's rush hour. But you can see everything looking very smoothly on the 405, just passing the 118. Earlier, we did see a pileup, a little bit of a crash, but right now, not much action as far as slowdowns, brakes, what I would expect to see. So that is nice. Hopefully it continues, but you're seeing the rain now. It is really starting to come down. Very cloudy over here. Oh, here it comes. Looks like we are just about to come into some traffic. Looks like it is about to get bunched up right here. Hopefully this is just rush hour traffic and no major accidents. But as you can see, it looks like we are about to come to a screeching stop. I'll send it back to you guys.
All right, stay driving out there, Crystal. Well, getting to the local mountains was tricky. A mix of rain and snow made the journey slow going for everyone, but those who wanted to hit the slopes, the trip was well worth it. Coming up at 5:45, we will have a live report from Big Bear.
Looking forward to that. With all the rain coming down, this is a good time to download the CBS 2 weather app so you can get up-to-the-minute forecasts. The app is free to download on Apple and Android devices.
And there's even more information at cbsla.com/weather. On-demand weather briefs, updated videos from our weather forecasters all day long, and our comprehensive weather page has animated radar, local forecasts for your zip codes, videos, and a lot more.
We're going to shift to a different kind of breaking news in Glendora. Citrus College is still on lockdown. after receiving a threat over the phone.
And CBS 2's Randy Page is live at the campus with an update, and there is one. Randy.
That's right, Pat, Jeff, I have to tell you, parents and friends of the students inside Southland College, it's been a very long day. Still waiting for any word as to when they'll be allowed out of their classrooms and back into their loved ones' arms, waiting since before noon today. We can tell you there was a major development just a little over an hour ago. Here's the view from our news helicopter, Sky 2, when there was clearly a suspect taken into custody. You can tell by the demeanor of the officers, this was a very serious suspect and wasn't just someone they were detaining. By their demeanor, you can see that. They took him into custody without any incident. And then we also noticed a large number of unmarked and marked police cars from a number of police agencies in the area, all rolling lights and sirens close to where that arrest was made. That was a very important event today, but we're still not getting any specific word as to what caused this, other than a phone call, a threat that brought all of these resources, including bomb squad and SWAT team, to the campus. We have been getting information, though, from parents of students inside who are communicating with their children through text messages. Here's what a couple of the moms here told us earlier today.
They're all sitting down on the floor, and the teachers say they can't leave until somebody gets them out. So she's okay. She's just nervous.
She's just saying that the robot's been going, it's in there with them, you know. Yeah.
So the robot is on campus, what, looking for possible explosives?
Yes, yeah. But she's safe, and she's under a table. So far they've been safe. So like,
is it kind of scary for you?
yes, yes it is. Just freaking out.
Really?
Yeah.
Now, if you look closely, you can see what the students have written on that white board. They're hungry. That was about an hour and a half ago, and you can bet they still are, still waiting for them to come outside. Now, this is a campus which shares right next to it, Azusa College, just right next to Citrus College. The Azusa students were allowed to leave, but Citrus College is still under lockdown. So we're really still waiting for more information from Glendora Police. We can tell you a parent here said that she was communicating with her son, who said that they were told that they would be allowed out of their classroom after 6 more buildings were searched. So we believe that they are searching this campus building by building. Apparently one person is in custody. As to the specifics of what brought them here, we're still waiting for that information. Let's go back to you.
Yeah, thanks, Randy. A shame those campuses are open and students can't go to school. But the LA Unified teachers did not back down as they walked out for a second day of striking. And so far, it looks like there are no new negotiations set between the union and the district.
CBS 2's Dave Lopez is live in downtown LA, where district officials held a news conference. Dave?
Well, they held a news conference to give some figures on who didn't go to school. They also are saying that they are willing to talk, but the union says unless you have a different offer, don't bother. As for the numbers, now the school districts get a fee from Sacramento per student. Yesterday, they lost about anywhere from $17 to $22 million because of the lack of attendance. Today, attendance was, well, according to the LA Unified, 15,000 more students went. If you look at the union side of it, they will tell you that more than 400,000 students didn't go to school. Day 2 of the teacher strike and the effects. If not for the strike, this is where Miss Wilby would be teaching her 7th and 8th graders English at Vista Middle School in Panorama City. This would normally be the 7th, 8th grade art class, Mrs. Wang's class. Every seat would be filled, I am told, and the students would be busy doing their art projects.
Anybody else want to share?
Instead, the students who showed up at Vista, about half of the 1,200 enrollment, I am told, were either in a lecture room or inside the gym, taking turns playing soccer.
We saw some math videos. He also taught us about English, but it wasn't kind of the same because our teachers weren't here.
There are 60 full-time faculty members at this school. All are on strike. Every classroom is empty. Have any parents called you and said, look, why should I send my child to school today?
Sure, we've had numerous calls that say, you know, is it necessary?
But the district keeps insisting that it is important to send your child to school, that they will learn and be safe.
It will be a learning environment. Yes, it will be different.
It's not normal.
Correct. It's a different environment.
The emptiness of this school is felt district-wide on every level.
The strike is clearly having a big impact. Our students are best served with an educator in every classroom.
Superintendent Austin Butner said the strike must end. But again, he said, what the teachers are demanding, the money simply isn't there. And the striking teachers say it's simply not true. And caught in the middle, parents and students.
Please focus that it's our children that are being affected. It's sad to send my daughter to school and for her to tell me that they're just watching movies all day.
I think it's a waste of time. They should both settle down and come with an agreement.
But so far, no agreement in sight, no talks in sight, although I've been told that both the governor's office and the mayor's office are working behind the scenes to try to at least get the talks started again. As for now, the only thing that's positive in this, day 3 of the strike, tomorrow, rain or shine. Reporting live from downtown LA, I'm Dave Lopez, CBS 2 News.
We lost an icon today. The final curtain falls on Broadway legend Carol Channing.
Diamonds are a girl's best friend.
We will take a look back at her extraordinary career in show business.
Hey, Netflix is raising your rates. How much is it going to cost you now to stream and chill?
And a carbon monoxide scare sends 8 people, including 2 children, to the hospital.
Hey everybody, I'm Garth Kemp. Coming up, a track and rain moving through the area, plus some snow. Your forecast on the way.